Welcome back to another portfolio video, and today we're going to be using Trading 212, obviously like we always do. Don't know why I did that intro differently, but we're going to get into a portfolio video, and obviously a lot has changed because the stock market has had a correction, you could say, and my portfolio has had a huge hit since the previous one, so we will get right into it. If you want a free fractional share worth up to £100 on Trading 212, then click the link in the description or use code BEN on Trading 212 and you'll get a free fractional share worth up to £100. So the first one we've got is AMD, and it went below $100. It actually did go below $100, and obviously I've been buying this up, to be honest with you. I've now got 70 shares of this. Obviously the people in the buys and sells group knew that I was buying this up, and I was slowly buying it up, and I got some under $100, which was good. Yeah, I want to try and get this to 100 shares because I think this is obviously a very, very solid stock. I also did a little TikTok video as well. If you didn't know, I've got a TikTok channel. I'll put a link in the description as well, so you can give that a follow. So my average is now $111. I'm down 10%, so I am down a lot. But this is one thing I said in the group in the Discord. I literally, for me, yes, it's horrible at the moment that it's going down, but actually it's a good thing because obviously you can just get a lower price, and I believe this is a cheap valuation for AMD for the future. I think in the next few years we're going to be thinking $100 was an absolute steal, and I personally believe it's a good price, and that's why I've been buying up AMD, because obviously the data centers growth is really, really good. Obviously it didn't hit expectations, but it's up 69% year on year, and I believe there's going to be so much more growth with AMD, and the forward PE is about 21, so even beyond 2025, 2026, like that, it's going to start looking very cheap, this stock. That is why I've been buying this up heavily for a start. Maybe as well in the future AMD can use their chip technology for the autonomous driving, for all of the cars that are going to need those chips. Hopefully AMD can be one of them, and we will see in the future, but that's another massive market that AMD can tap into, especially with all the new self-driving that's coming in, especially with Tesla coming up. So next up we've got Fubo, and I've got 1,100 shares of this, and I've got an average of 150, so I'm up 106%. It had a massive drop on earnings, and sadly I wasn't able to properly have a look at the earnings when it happened on the day because I was out working, filming, and I wasn't able to have a look at the conference call at the time. As you can see now, they're free cash flow positive by 16 million, which is a really, really good start and a really good positive sign to see, because obviously last year they were losing 5.9 million. So now they're making 16.3 million in free cash flow is really, really, really good. So the other thing that looks really good is the fact that their EPS is dropping and becoming soon positive. So we'll soon be seeing that flip eventually, maybe end of this year if we're lucky, or next year. You'll be able to start valuing the company a bit better and easier when we can start seeing how much they're going to be making per share. The other thing is as well, their subscription revenue is up 9.9%, and that's another good sign, obviously, because that's the fundamentals of what you want the company to be doing. Is, are they getting more subscriptions? And yes, they are. So they nearly did 10% in subscription revenue from last year. So they did also miss on the revenue though, but they did beat on the EPS, which is a good sign, which is a positive sign by quite a bit actually, 81% difference. So the merger between Disney and the Hulu situation with Fubo, it sounds like the merger won't officially go through for another year or so. So obviously don't quote me on that, it's just what I've seen and heard. So hopefully that, well, if it happens then it happens, and at least we know it's actually going to be happening, because obviously that will bring a lot more customers and a lot more revenue coming Fubo's way. Grab, so this is kind of trading sideways at the moment for me, pretty much break even nearly with it. Got 1,550 shares of Grab, and yeah, it's just pretty much trading sideways at the moment, so not much to say with Grab really at the moment. Want to get more shares of though, that's one thing I will say. IAG, it's gone back up now. This was down 2% at one point, it's now nearly up 5%. Obviously I only held one share because I just like to keep track of stocks that I would consider buying, and see where it would have been. So that's pretty much it. Nike stock, same situation, just want to see where I'd be at if I was to have put money in. The reason why I haven't is because I just don't want loads of individual stocks. I'd rather have bigger positions in a smaller amount of stocks. That's just the way I'd rather do things, instead of having like 20 different individual stocks and having less money in, because your money won't go as further really if you've got it scattered around to every single stock in the stock market. Obviously that's me being exaggerating a bit, but like, yeah, that's why I like to have a smaller amount of stocks. Palantir, obviously this has had a huge drop, down 15% on the week from last time, and obviously it was $125 at one point, and obviously I said in my videos it was always gonna drop, and I still see it going to $60 or so. So yeah, Palantir is one of those, but it's literally my longest holding, and Palantir is going to be the one where I'm going to hold in like till I'm like 40 odd, and same with Tesla. Tesla's a long term hold, but yeah, we're up 362% still on this, and yeah, I swear this has been getting buy ratings as well, of like $130, $120 a share, even recently, even with these drops. So yeah, mental really. Sofi, so I've got 1,500 shares of this, and I am up nearly 18% on Sofi, and yeah, it got down to like 13.6, was it? 13.5, so yeah, Sofi had a big drop as well. Obviously most stocks had a big drop, and I was taking advantage of buying up some more Sofi as well. And yeah, I think, to be honest with you, we're at this point now where are we in that limbo stage of, because when you look at the S&P 500, we're only down like, I don't know, like 1%, if that, and it's kind of worrying when you think of it like that, because there's still loads more room that the S&P 500 could really drop. But then when you look at it on the fence of like what the S&P 500 obviously gets built up with, and most of that is Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, Meta, all of them big companies control the S&P 500, and when you look at them as companies, they're also trading cheap. Like, they are cheap. Google especially is so cheap right now, so I don't see how the S&P 500 personally can drop that much, or drop much at all, because they're all trading really cheap at the moment when you look at the earnings that they're producing. So I mean, in my opinion, the S&P 500 could, I don't think will drop too much more, to be honest with you, but that's my opinion, and we'll have to see what actually happens. But obviously I've still got money on the side to buy if it obviously gets more ugly. Not to say the smaller caps won't drop, because the smaller caps might just carry on dropping, because some are still way overvalued, like Palantir for example. So yeah, we'll see. Tesla, this went down below $300, and I wanted to buy some of Tesla actually, and a lot of people were saying I need to sell Tesla. I didn't realise how much hate Tesla actually gets. It gets a lot of love, but it also gets a lot of hate, and yeah, I've got 39 shares of this. I really do want to get more shares of Tesla. It's just I've been concentrating on AMD at the moment, because AMD is such a good price in my opinion, so I've been buying that up personally, and I haven't been touching Tesla. But Tesla, I think, it's just obviously because it's a long-term hold for me, like a really long-term hold. I'd like to get more of it. So yeah, hopefully Tesla can stay at these prices for a lot longer. So in total, my portfolio is worth £77,727, and in total, like this part, I've gone down 10% on the week, so that's a huge hit. That is a huge hit. Hopefully it doesn't go much more, but if it does, it does, and that is the stock market for you, and I'll just be buying up more shares. Like I said, if you want to see my buying and selling throughout the week or throughout the months, then check out the buys and sells group, link in the description, £5.99, and you'll go in the group and you'll be able to see what I'm buying and selling in real time. Obviously it's not financial advice, it's just something that I'm personally buying, and I know a lot of people like to see what I'm buying and selling, so that's the purpose of why I've actually created it for you guys. And yeah, if you did enjoy this video, hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, and well, let's see what the next portfolio video is going to be like.